Hello there. In this video we learn the testing of hypothesis and large sample test. There are two sections in this video. First is theoretical part and second is the practical one. I have solved two sums of this concept. So let's get started. So let's get started. The chapter is testing of hypothesis and large sample test. So in it, first, to understand the testing of a hypothesis, we have to understand some topics. First is population. What is population? A group of that possess the same characteristics is known as a population. Now population size, it is denoted by big N and it is cleared and noted as number of units. Number of units is the population N. Then sample size, the size of sample, the sample which I have taken from that his main population, his parental population is known as sample and it is size is denoted by small n. Now what is population? Population size, sample size, and now what is parameter? Parameter is a constant. It is a constant number which is obtained from all the observation of a population. पॉपुलेशन की ऑब्जर्वेशंस में से जो कांस्टेंट ऑब्टेन हुआ है उसे वी विल से एज द पैरामीटर एंड दिस इज द टेबल which is the symbols which denotes the symbol of all the parameters and statistics. What is the samples and the populations of the size is big N and small n, mean is mu, the population mean is mu and it is x bar. Standard deviation, the deviation, the differences, standard differences are denoted as big S and SD. Proportion of attributes means qualities is by parameter big P and statistics by small p. So here it. So by doing these all definitions, it will be easier to understand the testing of hypothesis. So now let's get further. Now let us understand what is hypothesis. Hypothesis is a statistical hypothesis which is an assumption and what we'll say an estimate. It is a logical statement upon all the thesis done, all the examples taken, all the calculations done. Upon that the logical statement which is there, it is known as the hypothesis. Now there are two type of hypothesis. One is null hypothesis, second is alternate hypothesis. Null hypothesis is which is written for the possible acceptance. It is known as null hypothesis and it is denoted by HO. And now the hypothesis which is complementary to null hypothesis, the opposite of null hypothesis is known as alternate hypothesis and it is denoted by H1. Now what are the important things to be understand while doing the calculation? Now here the practical part comes and it is the thing in which we have to make sure that we know these three important points while considering the sums. First is when the sample statistic is significantly different from the population parameter. When we have to find out that it is significantly different or equal from the population, its population, then it is considered as two-tailed test. And when we have to know that it is less than mean or greater than mean, then we have to, if less than and more than is there, then it is one tail test. And when it is only topic of significant, it is significant, it is from the population or not, then two-tailed test. Then in other methods it is one-tailed test. Now there are normally 3% in level of significance. Level of significance, or we can say level of acceptance: 1%, 5% and 10%. So normally in the sums we have to take 5%. If and only if specifically it is given that 1% we have to take, then only we will take 1%. Nevertheless, we have to take 5% only in all the sums, and it is mentioned that 10% we have to take, then only we have to take these two percentage. Now as we have solved the theory part, we have cleared all the points. Now if we have cleared the 3 IMP points regarding the practical part has been started. So these are the 5 steps through which we can solve the sums. First is identify the value of parameter and statistic. What is parameter in the sum? What is statistics? What is x bar? What is mu? That we have to find out. Second, clearly state what is null and alternate hypothesis. We have seen in the theory null is HO, and alternate is H1. So what is acceptance and what is complementary to that hypothesis, we have to see in this part. Difference. Next step is difference. These are two statements from the question. This is the first step. Actually, the mu, mean minus mu, x bar minus mu. Standard error. The standard error, next we have to find standard error. The formula of standard error is standard deviation upon square root of n. So we have to find out standard error. And ZC is finally the division between the standard error difference and the standard error. So these are the 5 steps, simple steps through which we can solve the sum, and basically ZC answer is calculated. Next, what we have to see, this is also important for sums. This table we have to learn, we have to revise this table. In every sum this table is important. For one-tailed test, and if 1% is there, we have seen in theoretical part what is 1%, what is 5% and what is 10%. For ZT we have to find ZC, then we have to conclude the ZT from this table, and then we have to compare both of them, which I will tell you in the later part when we will do sums. One-tailed test, if 1% is there, 2.58. Similarly in 5%, 1.96. we have seen how to conclude that whether it is a one-tailed test or two-tailed test, that we will see on the basis of the percentage. Basically 5% is on the normally it is 5%, so we will take 5 in 1.96 for one-tailed test, and for two-tailed test 1.645. Now further, let's start the sum. The question is, a random sample of 900 members is found. Now let's check out the sum. In the first question, let's read out the question. A random sample of 900 members is found to have mean of 4.45 centimeters. Can it be reasonably regarded as sample from large population whose mean is 5 centimeters and variance is 4 square centimeters? So here two mean are given, so we have to find out that which is mean and which is mu. This is mean, as this has been given as a random sample. This is n, 900. This is regarded as mu, and this is the variance. So we have to find out the standard deviation, which we will do. Variance we don't need in the sums, we need standard deviation, so we will find the standard deviation. So mean is there, we have to find what is mean and what is mu from the sums. So here it is tell that can it be reasonably regarded that sample is from population. So significantly we have to only find out is the sample from the population or not. So it is two-tailed test. So here now let's check the solution of the sum. So let's get in the answer. Now in it, as we have seen the question, n is 900, x bar is 4.45. That is the mean of centimeters, and mu, that we have to reasonably regard that it is from population or not. So it is two-tailed test, as we have to see that it is regarded, it is to be regarded that it is from population or not. We have to consider it as a two-tailed test. Now the variance, it is given variance is 4. So here we need standard deviation. So it is square root of the variance. Then it is square root of 4. It is 2. The alpha, as I have told, there is nothing given in question. So alpha will be taken as 5%. Now as per the formulas, first of all we have to understand the answer. The answer ZC which comes. If it is small than the level of significance, then it is accepted. And if it is large than the significance level, it is rejected. It will be rejected. Now according to the steps, first of all we have to consider what is HO and what is H1. HO, the level of acceptance, is that mu is 5. And versus the H1 which says that mu is not equal to 5. Now we have to find the difference, which is x bar minus mu. Difference is within the column, so it will be always in plus. Standard error SE of x bar, standard error of x bar is standard deviation divided by root n. Standard deviation is 2 divided by root n is 900, that is 30, to 2 upon 30, that is 0.0667. So by dividing these two, difference upon standard error root x bar will get 8.245. So at the phi level of significance, it is given, as we have seen in earlier table, ZT is 1.96. So 8.2 says 1.96 larger है, greater है, so HO will be rejected. See, in most of times HO is rejected. Rarely it is that HO is accepted, hypothesis is accepted. Hence we conclude that the sample may not be regarded as a random sample from a population with mean 5. Now let's check out the sum number 2. Here the mean of random sample of 400 units is 82 and standard deviation is 18. Test the hypothesis that mean is 80. So here standard deviation is clearly given, mean is 82, mu is 80. So we have to simply hypothetically find out that population is from sample mean or not. Here also mean is two-tailed test. Now here it is not given the percentage, so we will take 5%. So let's check out the answer. Now let's see that this solution of this next sum. It is also easy, as we have seen his question. N is given, x bar is given, standard deviation is given, mu is given, alpha as it is not mentioned. We will take 5%. HO is 80, that is mu is 80. H1 is that mu is not 80. As it is say that significance, the mean of hypothesis that it is 80 or not, it will be considered as two-tailed test. Difference, we have x bar minus mu, that is 2. Standard error, x is standard deviation upon root n, 18 upon root square root of 400, that is 20, 18 upon 20, 0.9. This is S method, which is seen in the earlier sum. ZC is different upon standard deviation 2 upon 0.9. As 5%, at the 5%, similarly was in the last sum 1.96, which is greater, which is lesser than the ZC. ZC is greater than the ZT. So HO is rejected. Then we conclude that hypothesis of mean AT may be rejected. It is only consideration, it is only an estimate, so maybe is there. Thank you so much for watching the video. I've covered here only the theoretical basic theory part and basic two sums, which are very simple and for basic understanding. If you want more videos and more sums on this and on large sample test sums, so please give that in the comment section. And if you have any query regarding this topic on this concept, you can ask me in the comment section. I'll clear it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.